Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly forecast. This is the forecast for the 17th through the 23rd. You might see this video in a few weeks, a few months from now. It's fine. You're going to see it whenever it's time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the collective, therefore, not every single message is going to resonate, and that's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't. So without further ado, my dears and my darlings, we're going to see what we have for Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Capricorn Rising. Alrighty. Move you all just a little bit closer. First card coming up here is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a card that sometimes comes up when we might be worried. Like we feel like we're really working hard towards something. We're really putting a lot of effort into something. And we're not really sure like what's happening here. But Seven of Pentacles basically lets us know that your hard work is paying off. There's growth happening right now that you don't see that's going to be apparent to you later. Like if you plant a seed and you water it, just because you don't see anything sprouting yet, that doesn't mean there isn't growth happening beneath the surface. And then sooner or later, you look over and you see the growth coming up to the surface. So this is a card that comes up for me in my readings that says, don't push this process too hard. You might have it in your mind where you're like, well, I want this to happen fast. And I want this to, happen quick. So I'm going to put a ton of energy into it. I'm going to put a ton of money into it. I'm going to, I'm not going to rest until it's getting to the level where I want it to get. And the Seven of Pentacles reminds us that we can't override the laws of time and physics, right? Like if you were really hungry, you were really starving, and you wanted to make dinner and you wanted to have a roast chicken, you could get the best quality ingredients and, marinate it real nice and put it in the oven, and you say to yourself, I can't wait to eat, so I'm going to put this full blast. I'm going to put this on the highest broil setting. My food will be done quick. Well, if you know anything about cooking, if you do that, you're going to have a chicken that is burnt on the outside and raw on the inside, and you won't be able to eat it, right? Like we can't bypass that time. Some things are going to take a certain amount of time. And so it's like saying, just give spirit room to come in, to do its thing, to bless it, to let it grow, and maybe focus on something else in the meantime. And that can be as simple as enjoying life, doing something fun, taking a break from this endeavor once in a while, letting it do its thing. It will grow. It will give you a harvest, an abundant harvest. But pushing it, all it's going to do is frustrate you and tire you out and discourage you. So it's kind of reminding you, I guess, stop and smell the roses, take a little bit of a break, let universe come in and do its part. Don't feel like you have to hurry up and get something to a certain level or a certain degree right away. The next card that's coming up here for the Capricorn Collective is the Six of Cups. This could be, and don't come at me with your pitchforks and torches, this could be somebody returning from the past. I know people don't like to hear that. They're like, I don't want to hear that. I'm done. Anybody who's in the past can stay in the past. But keep in mind that this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This could be a childhood friend. This could be an old coworker. This could be someone that maybe had a crush on you when you guys first knew each other, but the timing wasn't right. Maybe you were in a relationship. Maybe they were in a relationship, or they just had too much going on in their life. And now they're ready. Now they're single, ready to mingle, and you've been on their mind. And they're like, I wonder if Capricorn is still single. I wonder what Capricorn is up to. So there could be somebody kind of checking in on you. As I said, it could be a childhood friend. It doesn't have to be like your worst nightmare situation. I know we all have karmic people in our past that we never want to see again. doesn't mean that it's going to be a karmic person. It could actually be a pleasant surprise. Oh, I remember you from third grade, or oh, I remember you from high school, or oh yeah, like I thought you were cute too back in the day. Like it doesn't have to be a negative thing or like some kind of monster resurfacing. Six of Cups here is also nostalgia. I feel like some of you may have something coming up here where you may be returning home, or you may be uh given things from home. I don't know why. I feel like I see some of you rummaging through boxes. Maybe you went and got these boxes a while ago and you haven't had a chance to go through them. Maybe friends or family members are boxing up some stuff and saying, hey, we found some of your old stuff, here you go. We didn't want to throw anything out. But I feel some of you are like literally rummaging through like literal boxes, going through things that belonged to you. Some of you as far back as in your childhood or your younger years. And I feel like there's this form of release, not energy clearing, but form of release, as you're going through this process. Like you're having a lot of memories. Inner child is coming to the surface. You're connecting with old dreams, old ideas that you're wanting to get going again. Um, a sense of nostalgia. It doesn't feel to me like regret. It doesn't feel to me like sadness. It feels to me like nostalgia. Maybe for some of you, you're not rummaging through literal boxes. Maybe some of you, this is like in your head, like you're unpacking old memories, or you're listening to music that reminds you of back in that time, or you're looking through family photos, or um, watching cartoons and things that you were into when you were younger. But I feel there's a form of nostalgia that's bringing you a sense of release, um, and a sense of like hoping again, or like believing in magic, a sense of inspiration. So I feel, Capricorn, that you've been working really hard. You've been working really, really hard. And I feel like your angels and guides are trying to kind of take you back into the past and remind you of your journey, remind you of the things that you were once hoping or dreaming to do, and like encouraging you to return to that. Like it's not too late. You can still do these things. You can still follow these dreams or these inspirations or these ideas. You can connect with old friends and family. You can stop and make time for like playfulness or like simplify things. So again, I hate to use cliches, but very much I feel the energy of like stop and smell the roses. Like you've been working real hard, you've been hustling, you've been grinding. You need to just kind of take in your past, the present moment, your surroundings, and enjoy life a little bit. Enjoy life a little bit. The next card that's coming up here for the Capricorn Collective is the Tower. And I know this is a card that scares a lot of people. And I've said this time and time again, that though it is true that this can be a sudden shock or a sudden upset, something being, pulled out from under you, like the rug pulled out from under you, but it not always. The Tower can be something very positive happening that scares us and pushes us out of our comfort zone. So it could be meeting the love of your life. It could be finding out that you're going to have a child, like being a parent, landing your dream job, finding out something you've been trying to take to market or sell has gotten picked up. You're going to get a big payout. Buying a house, relocating to like your dream place. It can be many positive scenarios or many positive things, because basically the Tower is just basically a permanent change where our life is never going to be the same again, and it's pushing us out of our comfort zone. Okay. And so it could be a paradigm shift and a sense of awakening here. The feeling and the vibe that I'm getting from the Tower is, Capricorn, you're waking up and you're remembering who you are on a soul level. And you're remembering who little baby Capricorn was back in the day, before all of the conditioning, all of the programming, all of the rejection and the criticisms. And you're like going back to that original factory settings, and you're feeling a sense of purpose. Like, this is what I feel I'm meant to do in this lifetime. This is what is going to bring me happiness. This is what has been missing in my life. So I'm feeling the Tower for Capricorn in this week, and the sense of awakening, and the sense of paradigm shift, seeing through illusions, seeing things in a very new way, where life is never going to be the same again. Spirit is bringing something to my mind, and when Spirit does this in my readings, it's Spirit's way of letting me know this is the kind of situation this is. So Spirit will show me something from a previous reading, or somebody I know, or something in my life, to say this is what's happening here. I remember when I used to work in a law office as a paralegal, and at that time it was my dream job. It was a really big, really reputable law firm, like really massive, and um, like anybody who was in that field had heard of them. So to me, it was a big deal to be working there. I had my spiritual awakening at that time when I was at that job. And it just became more and more difficult to go every day and to sit in that cubicle and to do that work. And then I began to see the work in a very different light. Okay. My job was to pull evidence that seemed incriminating in some pretty big cases. And it just woke me up, like, this is gross. Like, this feels gross. It's just it's shady. I don't feel good about it. And I was blind to it before that. I was like, I can't do this anymore. It became more and more difficult. And I just got to a place where I was like, I have to leave this job. I can't sleep at night working this job. So some of you, I don't feel a sense of like you're losing sleep or feeling guilty about something, but you're seeing the truth, like you're seeing the bigger picture, and you're like, I can't spend my days doing this kind of work, or I can't spend my days dealing with this kind of situation. Like, life is short. I want to be doing uplifting things. I want to be creating. I want to be enjoying friends and family and relationships. I don't want to be, sacrificing my years in my life and my energy to these particular situations or these particular circumstances. So I feel like you're having an awakening that's shifting where you're putting your energy, where you're putting your focus, how you're living your life. I feel like there's this whole big change in like your way of life that's coming from these realizations and these epiphanies that you're having. Your next card here is the Four of Swords. And so you may be realizing, whoa, this is massive. And it may be a lot. We are coming out of the full moon in Aries fairly recently, and I feel it. A lot of people have been saying it in the comments. People have been talking to my personal life. Several of us have really felt like this particular full moon was really intense, and we're headed into a series of eclipses, and the new moon in Scorpio here coming up. And so a lot of you in this realization, in this awakening, it might feel to you kind of like you need a moment to process it. A lot of you have heard me say the Four of Swords comes up for me in my readings when emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes even physically, you've been through the ringer and you have to process that. And that can be the case for some of you, but I feel with this Four of Swords coming in with the Tower, it's more like you're having this massive massive epiphany. You're having this massive personal revelation. And the Four of Swords feels to me like you're needing to take a step back and process it. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, what did I just realize? And so you're taking time to process what has occurred to you, what you're finally seeing, what you're finally realizing. So it doesn't feel to me like the release of suffering. It feels to me like this is really big. This is a really big shift. This is a really big awakening. And I just need a moment here to connect with higher power, to connect with God, to pray, to meditate, and to just process all of what has been revealed to me, all of which I have discovered. So it feels to me like a really powerful, like inward shift that is changing the way you live your life and changing like your priorities, the things you've been working on, the people you've been hanging out with. Complete and total readjustment here. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. Love readings for the month of October are linked in the description. And if you would like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link that will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite. It's in the description box. I have lowered my prices on the 60-minute and 30-minute videos. In my opinion, it's a pretty significant decrease. I know inflation is crazy right now, and I've been thinking about it and praying about it, and I've decided to lower those prices. And then I did open up for the 2023 12-month forecasts. Those of you that have been with me, you guys know that every year I do a 12-month forecast for each of the zodiac signs. I'm working on those this week for 2023. You'll be seeing those pop up. But a lot of you like to get like a personal one to see the 12 months for the coming year. So those are available for booking now on the calendar. And I've lowered the prices for those too. Usually I do those for $175, but this year I'm going to do them for $111. So if you're interested in a 12-month forecast, I'm starting to open up to do those. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous week ahead, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow and check out the daily message. But if not, come back and check out next week's forecast. Please be sure to subscribe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for receiving the messages. Take care, my darlings. Be well.